Thank you po. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagdalo. Unang-una po, nais po naming ipabatid na simula po bukas, August 16 hanggang August 22, simula na po ang pista ng pelikulang Pilipino. Napapanahon po bilang mga Pilipino dapat po nating tangkilikin ang mga pelikulang gawa ng Pilipino para sa Pilipino. Ito ay bilang pagpupugay na rin po sa ikasandaang taon ng pelikulang Pilipino. Sa una pagkakataon po ay meron po tayong film festival sa buong Pilipinas. At of course, nakakataba po ng puso, nakasama po sa full-length films ang 12 maiikling pelikula para po sa Sine Kabataan Short Film Competition. Ang mga pelikula pong kasama ay ang Pahimakas ni Lance Maravillas, Dorothy ni Angelique Evangelista, Akalingwan ng Rosa ni Max Canlas, Haraya ni Daniel Delgado, Alipato ni Michael Joshua Manahan, MacArthur ni Brian Spencer Reyes, Yeah Right ni Gab Messina, Delayed si Jemerlyn Rose ni Don Senok, Ang Unang Araw ng Pasukan ni Arjen Manlapig, Shaded ni Vanessa Estanol, Ang Kapitbahay Ko sa 2014, Anya Zulueta, and Fat You ni Ronel Rivera III. Inilunsad po ng National Youth Commission ang Sine Kabataan Short Film Competition nearly 2 months ago upang mapatunayan po na ang pelikula ay isa sa mga epektibong daan para maipahayag po ng mga kabataan ng kanilang mga saloobin tungkol po sa mga issues that affect the Filipino youth. At hindi po kami nagkamali. Ang inakala po naming 35 entries ay lumobo po ng halos 200 entries. Medyo nahirapan po kami sa pagpili. At hindi lang ho yan, talaga naman pong ang mga pelikulang mapapanood nyo ay may kurot sa puso. Ito mga short films mo na naisubmit sa National Youth Commission ng mga kabataan ay tunay na malikhain at may kamulatan sa mga nangyayari po sa kapaligiran. Inanyayahan din po ng National Youth Commission ng mga batikang direktor na sina Direk Raymond Red, Director Carlos Seguin Reyna, kasama po si National Youth Commission Commissioner Percival Sendanya, upang sila po ang mag-select ng aming Best Picture at Jury's Choice. Sana po sa mga makakapanood ng mga pelikulang ito ay hindi lang po kayo mag-enjoy, ngunit sana po mapulutan din po natin ng aral. Marami pong mga youth issues na matatalakay sa mga pelikula na ito, and I hope we all take it with a grain of salt. Importante po na hindi lang mga kabataan na maka-enjoy dito, pero sana po ang buong Pilipinas, ang mga Pilipino, makita niyo po ang pinagdadaanan ng mga kabataan ngayon. Pangalawa naman po, I also want to take this opportunity to inform everyone that we celebrated the International Youth Day last August 12 sa Luzon, sa Visayas, at sa Mindanao. Ito pong celebration po ng International Youth Day is mandated by a United Nations resolution passed several years ago. A workshop to craft the Youth Manifesto for Peace Building and Security was attended by Mindanaoan youth leaders and was facilitated by the National Youth Commission in partnership with the UNICEF, the City Government of Iligan, and the ARMM Office on Bangsamoro Youth Affairs. In the youth's quest for peace and security in Mindanao, please allow me to read the manifesto. Youth Manifesto for Just and Lasting Peace, presented at the 2017 International Youth Day celebration in Iligan City, August 13, 2017. We, the youth of Mindanao, continue to stand with our people for peace in our homeland. Mindanao is an island that knows conflict unlike any other. From the island provinces in the west into the fields of central Mindanao and up the mountains in the eastern coast, military operations against various armed groups have been going on for decades. In Mindanao, people are constantly under threat of displacement and terror, and the youth are among the most adversely affected sectors. But peace is not merely the end of these long-running conflicts. It is, at its very core, the present and constant assurance of justice for all. Given this, it is the role of the youth to push for progressive policies that respond to our present circumstances and reflect the values, not the fears, of our time. We, the Mindanaoan youth, are committed to good governance and youth participation. We acknowledge that to forward the agenda of the youth, there is a need for better involvement in governance, particularly in the ongoing peace processes and the observance of human rights principles. The youth, as stakeholders, must be properly trained and empowered as agents of peace and leaders of the future. Thus, shared governance between the youth sector and public officials at all levels is important. We therefore support the implementation of the Sangguniang Kabataan Reform Act and other legislation that affirm this. We must also establish linkages among different youth groups and other stakeholders. Equitable programs must be carried out as a response to latent inequalities in society, allowing all and every youth to have access to leadership opportunities. We, the Mindanaoan youth, are committed to protection from and prevention of conflict and violence. Terrorism hampers nation building and is a threat to peace and security. The youth, as it seeks avenues toward genuine change, are often marginalized, making us vulnerable to radicalization and violent extremism. Thus, there is a need for integration of peace education in all schools, including alternative learning institutions, indigenous schools, and madaris. The youth, along with other vulnerable and marginalized sectors, must be protected. Peace zones, including schools, hospitals, and religious structures, must be free from the presence of state or non-state armed groups. Our government must also exhaust all efforts to ensure access to basic social services despite conflict, and to uphold and respect for human rights at all times. We, the Mindanaoan youth, are committed to rehabilitation and integration of wayward youth. We believe that for a better future, the rehabilitation and reintegration of the youth must be prioritized. Thus, we must dedicate ourselves to support efforts addressing the psychosocial, educational, and employment needs of this generation. We believe that the lost and the fallen must be found and uplifted. The hungry and the thirsty must be fed and satiated. We believe that the displaced and traumatized must be sheltered and provided with debriefing and counseling, including community-based mental health programs, so that they will not become deviants of society. We, the Mindanaoan youth, are committed to embracing diversity and fighting discrimination. Mindanao is home to people of different faiths and cultures. Recognizing our diversity is a source of knowledge, and embracing our differences is a source of strength. Our struggles are not all one and the same, yet we share the same aspirations. We believe that solidarity is essential to our way of life. Thus, there should be relevant and intensive information dissemination, alongside interfaith dialogues towards understanding one's culture and religion. The history of Moro and indigenous peoples must be institutionalized in our basic education curriculum to enable us to go beyond stereotypes and genuinely understand various peoples in the Philippines and appreciate their heritage. The youth must not be seen as passive victims, rather as active participants in the midst of conflict and crisis. Only then can we be meaningful partners in finding solutions and realizing our nation's pursuit for peace. We believe that if we, the youth, will be united, we will be primary movers of peace in Mindanao and in the rest of the country. We urge the national and local governments to regularly allocate sufficient funds and resources for programs and policies affecting young people to ensure sustainable youth development. The youth shall inherit the call for lasting peace, a call that the peoples of Mindanao have been striving to realize. We believe that peace and security is needed to build on the gains of our forefathers and to ensure the continuity and consistency of our nation's development. We believe that our appreciation of this continuing struggle will further strengthen our desire for peace. Whether our contributions towards realizing these visions will be big or small, it will not matter. What matters is how we will make things happen, and we need to begin now. After all, who we are today is but a glimpse of who we will be in the future. The fulfillment of the youth's promise begins today. Maraming salamat po sa inyong suporta sa Presidential Communications Office. Secretary Abelia, maraming salamat po. Asik Winnie, Malacañang Press Corps, thank you for giving us your time. Mabuhay po kayong lahat.